Chelsea won, Crystal Palace won. Now the question is, are you not ashamed of yourself? Now, this is a team that lost to West Ham and Brentford. They're not doing well. Look, they had a manager bounce at the end of last season. They were winning games, fair enough. But then that's the same team that lost one of their biggest players, right? So how come? If you think, okay, if you consider yourself a big team, you go in there, you spend money, you buy all these players, you put them together. And let me say this, I'm not expecting, or I wasn't expecting the same game that we played against Wolverhampton, because obviously we're still in the early stages of the season and at the early stages of building our team. But you can't go and give me that performance. Once again, Crystal Palace lost one of their main players in Michael Olise. They were not even that good today. So how? How do you lose that game? Make it make sense. Like how? Let's listen. Normally I like to talk about the positives and the negatives, but today there isn't any positive. No positive. I guess the only positive is we didn't lose the game. I guess that's the only positive. And what are the positives? I can't find any other positive. It's all negatives. When I look at that lineup, I can't blame the coach for putting that that lineup outside. That lineup is good enough to win games like this. Someone was saying it was hot, and that sort of like disturbed the temper of the game. But it was fucking hot for Crystal Palace too. It wasn't just hot for Chelsea players. When I look at the lineup today, that's not the same lineup we used on Thursday when we were playing against Servette, which was a shitty match on its own, by the way. Now, let me talk about the individual personnel. Caicedo today, all right, I guess is half a positive because he wasn't as bad as he was the previous two games. But Enzo Fernandez, man, I think it's time we speak about Enzo Fernandez. What are you doing? You can't even make a simple pass. You can't shoot, you can't pass. So what are you in there for? Just fucking wearing the badge. Sorry, the armband. What are you in there for? And why did Enzo Fernandez play 90 minutes? When we have Jude Springall on the bench, when we have even young stars like Casades, you're trying to sell Kani Chukwuemeka. I can tell you, Kani Chukwuemeka would have been good for that game. He's a 1-2-1 Liga play. He can, make good passes in short spaces. Kani Chukwuemeka could have been good. Of course, Lavia is injured. I can't take a dig on that one. Jude Springall, I don't rate him as much at this moment in time because he's been putting up stinkers all the time. But he would have been good for that match as well because his passing is not that bad. Enzo Fernandez can pass the ball, but today he wasn't working at all. Now, Felix, you come on as a substitute, full of energy. What do? Selfish, mate. This is a Chelsea football club, not a Felix football club. There's a problem with these players. They want to have this individual brilliance, but they still can't do it. We need to start playing as a team. Cole Palmer, listen, I don't usually say this. Actually, I've never said this, but Cole Palmer had a really bad game today. He wasn't himself. At the end of the day, I can't even blame him because he's playing by himself anyway. Just pass the fucking ball. We did so many missed passes today. Now, everything we want to do in terms of the philosophies and the way we want to play, we just went all against it. Today, we just went against every principle that we're trying to implement. First of all, you can't get hold of the ball. You can't pass the ball. You can't mark. You can't defend. You can't score. You can't create chances. That's the philosophy. The main part of the philosophy is to fucking pass the ball. We can't do that. You can't retain possession. Let me say this, by the way. out of possession, we look so terrible. Cowell, you're meant to be good passer. You can't even fucking pass the ball. And why did Fofana and Cowell play 90 minutes when we have Tosin on the bench? Now I get this thing of trying to, make your first 11, get them, create this cohesion and chemistry. But at some point, you got to start making early substitute, man. Again, I'm not going to blame the coach because that team he put out there was good enough to win us the game. Even the substitute, I didn't understand the Modric and of course, Malo Gusto got injured, but put a fucking defender in. Enzo Fernandez can't play as a defender. I know you want to you want to offload the midfielder and the front line, but at some point you have to start making a substitute that do make sense. Malo Gusto, bruh, I can talk about each and every individual and shit on them because they were all crap tonight. None of those players were good. Pedro Neto, I can't blame him as much because he only played about 56 minutes. Every time he got the ball, he tried to do something, but then again, he just wasn't good enough. We're playing at fucking home. Jackson, how do you miss... Listen, it's getting old. It's getting old. I can't come here and cry about Jackson every fucking week. He's a good player and I keep saying that. But when it comes to scoring goals, bruv, yes, you did score a goal. We give you that. But fucking score more goals. And this is the reason why the fan base was so mad about not buying a striker. We let Ivan Toney go to Saudi Arabia. We can't even make a deal with Victor Osimhen. Now you're trying to extend Jackson's contract for what? If you're going to extend Jackson's contract, make sure you bring a fucking striker. Because I'm not doing this Jackson thing for another whole season. I'm not. He's a good player and I can't take that away from him. But come on, we need someone to score goals. Why did Christopher Nkunku come in the 85th minute? You saw when he came on, he actually did something. I can't blame him because he only played about, 5-10 minutes. So I can't put the blame on him. But even him as well, he could have done better in one of the chances, which he put away. Man, this game was shit from... First half wasn't too bad. First half was all right. And I'm thinking we're going to implement what we did at Wolves. Second half we come on and do well. Even shittier. Even shit. Even shit, bro. Listen, again, I'm not expecting Chelsea to be all fluidy and all that and sexy football ever. I'm not expecting that. But I'm expecting grown men, full professionals that gets paid every fucking week to do what they do, train in every fucking training that they do. Mate, you train every single day. You can't even fucking pass the ball. Like, make it make sense. You get paid to train. 4, 5, 6 days a week. You can't even fucking make a pass. None of our players today, you can't even cross the ball into the fucking box. Come on, man. We're better than this. Anyway, man, I'm out of this place, man. I'm out.